Europe was once a continent divided by the far right. After World War II, it made a concerted effort to ensure extremists like the Nazis would never come back to power. But since 2016, the ultra-conservative base has been growing, driven by populist, nationalist media and politics. Politicians like France's Marine Le Pen, Italy's Matteo Salvini and the UK's Nigel Farage have gained in popularity. And the movement is becoming more violent. According to Europol, there were 4 major acts of terrorism committed in Europe in 2020 by far-right extremists or white supremacists. There was one failed act in Belgium, one was foiled in France, and another in Germany, and one in Hanau, Germany, which killed 9 people. Arrests also increased. Germany saw 14 people arrested, the Netherlands 6, and France 5. All of these people suspected of either planning or carrying out terror attacks. Germany's interior minister says the far right is the biggest threat to democracy.
Wir sehen sehr deutlich, dass wir unsere Demokratie.
We clearly see that we must protect our democracy with all of our strength. The police in Germany registered 55,048 politically motivated crimes last year, 23% more than the year before. It is the most since the public agency started tracking that data in 2001.
But why has the far-right movement gained so much traction? Many fear that their culture and identity is under attack due to immigration. It's a concern that's played upon by politicians and the media. Following the migrant crisis Europe experienced in 2016, immigrants, Muslims and Jews have been targeted, among others. Far-right groups have emboldened people with racist, Islamophobic and xenophobic ideas.
For the last 20 years, the main focus for counter-terrorism activities and counter-extremism has been Islam. And in the process, the growth of organised, violent, or at least in theory or in planning, violent forms of right-wing activity has tended to go under the radar. And people are now monitoring more carefully what they used to dismiss as populism or right-wing activity. And what's come to light is a really quite well-entrenched and growing extreme right fringe.
Another growing concern is the amount of young adults linked to far-right communities. Video game communication has been used widely to spread extremist content amongst the younger generations. The pandemic was also seen as a chance to expand their bases, with many groups protesting against vaccine mandates and lockdowns. It's a growing threat that brings to mind Europe's devastating modern history, and one that most had hoped had been vanquished for good. Daniel Padwick, TRT World.